Hey everyone, today we are at the Den of Iniquity in Yark and we're going to be doing some gambling. So there's a couple of things I wanted to cover in this video. The first is a little bit more hidden, which is back here there is a rare exchanger. So if you get some junk rare crystals that you don't want, you can give 2 MMDs to the rare exchanger and then a rare crystal and you'll get a random one back. And a lot of times you'll get a lot better ones because these can be tier 1 through tier 2 rare crystals. So like our acid protection rare is way better than that deception rare that I had. You can also get like blood drinker rares, which are super cool. A resistors crystal, I'm definitely keeping that. Lightning protection, like I'm gonna get 4 great rares right in a row, which is pretty sweet, or maybe not. But yeah, you can just keep doing this until you get the rares that you want. I'm definitely happy with those 4. Really good way to get blood drinker rares, which are useful for like Gauntlet and some other custom quests on Levistrus like Uber Mythos. Now we're going to do regular gambling, which you may be more familiar with, but the way that I like to do it is I like to use Verindy Item Tool, which is perfectly acceptable on Levistrus. Then I go to the buy. I set buy as the MM note. So that's maybe something that I should talk about first, which is that mid-stakes gambling is kind of the best bang for your buck in terms of gambling. You can get casino keys for the Grand Casino chest, which has the chance to drop foolproof, has the chance to drop alternate currency. If you do high-stakes gambling, you have the chance to get exquisite casino keys, which is kind of like a legendary chest, but it's 2 MMDs per spin, whereas the mid stakes is only 1 MM note. So it's way better economy for that. And then getting back to Verindy Item Tool, so we set buy as MM note, and then we're gonna sell whatever you have to sell. So like I pick up some gold peas, sell those real quick. Verindy Item Tool automatically sells whatever you have and then buys back what you're buying. What I also like to do in this case is clear out my inventory as much as possible. You want to have as much pack space as you can to have pyrols, to have the stuff that we're going to get from gambling, because there is a lot of junk. And then finally, I'll just sell all of my MMDs once I'm done with the rare exchanger, because the rare exchanger does only take MMDs. Now, if you don't want to sell all of your MMDs, you can change this max buy number. If you leave it as -1, it will sell all of the MMDs that you have in your inventory and exchange them for MM notes. Once you have as many as you want, we're going to head over to Arshid Alkid, and you're going to hand him your MM notes. You can also use Verindy Item Tool for this. So if you set the target and then set the item and then hit go, it will hand them over. You do have to babysit this one because it will do them in stacks of 10. If you hit no, it will only turn 1 MM note in, but we want to do quite a few at a time. So once you have as many as you want, I usually do like 300 at a time, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to do 100 right now. Then we're going to head over to either of the mid-stakes Game Masters. We're going to change this again. We're going to set the target as the Game Master. We're going to set the item as the mid-stakes gambling token, and then I like to change the delay in hand-in to 2700, so it's going to turn in 1 token every 2.7 seconds. And that is just about how long it takes for the mid-stakes Game Master to process accepting the item and give you something back in return. So you can get definitely a lot of junk from doing this type of gambling, but there are some really good things that you can get. So the Ancient Empyrean and Ancient Flatic trinkets are definitely worth keeping. You can turn those into the high stakes Game Master for experience. It's kind of percentage based on level, but it's really good. If you watch my Enlightenment Guide video, this is basically how I get these stacks for Enlightenment. You can get some money back, so you can get some M notes, which is nice. And you can get MM notes, which is basically just a refund on your gamble. Mana filtres, while they are not a good reward, they are basically an M note, so I do keep those and sell them back once all of this is done. And then really what we're looking for is what we just got, which is a Grand Casino key. We're hoping to get a lot of those. That's what we're after. You can also get golden keys, which are not as good as Grand Casino keys, but they are worth keeping. And the other thing that I think maybe people don't know about as much is poison. So poison on its own does absolutely nothing, but you can turn it into a Agent of the Arcanum, and you get 5 writs of refuge back. So for me, I have a mansion. I have to pay 10 writs of refuge like every other month for maintenance. I have like 1,000 writs of refuge from gambling. It's super useful. The other thing you can get is Potions of Endless Vigor. They're worth keeping. You give you an extra 100 maximum stamina, which is not bad. Potions of Destiny's Wind, also sort of useful, increases maximum mana by 100. When I'm actively gambling and watching this, all I do is really stack stuff to make sure I have the maximum available inventory, and I use kind of the junk items. Every once in a while, I'll pause the item tool and then just drop everything on the ground. All right, so that's what we got, a bunch of junk. You can just drop all the stuff you don't want on the ground. But we did end up with, I think, 4 Grand Casino keys and a golden key. So the Grand Casino keys are for this chest here. So we got some alt currency, ornate gear, and a neckshade token. I also usually pick up the peas to make some money back. The items I don't think are really good. This is like the worst case scenario from a chest. But foolproof Zircon, not bad. Another venom sac. And golden key goes to this chest here, where you can get some Work 10 salvage and a 50 million XP gem. Not bad. But that is the basics of gambling at the Den of Iniquity. I don't know if it's fun. You just kind of have to babysit for the item tool. The rewards are worth it, though. It's the best way to get alternate currency in bulk if you have the money to support it. And it's a really good way to get foolproof salvage without having to run Coliseum all the time. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please press that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.